Much to the delight of people working in labor-intensive industries, machines and technology are making our lives much, much more manageable. The winning recipe for productivity used to be blood, sweat, and tears, and now it's a decent machine and a decent operator. From robot bricklayers to machines that can dig up trees, here are 15 most useful machines that do incredible things. Number 15. Excavator machines. Could you believe that we once had to dig dirt out of the ground by hand? Imagine trying to prepare the site for a house or commercial building with just a shovel and your arm muscles. It makes my body ache just thinking about it. That's why excavators are some of the most useful machines, and probably always will be. They are heavy construction equipment with a boom, cab, and a house, which is a rotating platform. The house sits on an undercarriage that has tracks or wheels to allow it to move around. They operate with hydraulic fluid, cylinders, and motors, and can achieve some incredible things on a building site or general land. People use them to dig holes, foundations, trenches, and even forestry work and mulching. It's not uncommon to also see them in mining sites, in the landscaping industry, and for construction and demolition. To make them suitable for each task, you have to replace what you are using on the boom. They also come in plenty of different sizes to make sure they are suitable for each job. The largest model available is the CAT 6090, which has a whopping 4,500 horsepower engine and weighs over 2 million pounds, or close to 1 million kilograms. Before we go on, like this video, smash the subscribe button and click the notification bell right now, or this centipede will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. Number 14. Boeing Flying Taxi. It doesn't seem all that long ago that the flying car was a figment of our imagination. We could tell any film we watched was set in the future because it had such cars, which didn't exist. Sure, we've got planes, but no one has quite been able to bring a flying car to the market for everyone to enjoy. In saying that, that might all change soon, especially if Boeing has anything to do with it. Boeing is an aerospace company with its fingers in many pies, like rockets, satellites, airplanes, rotorcraft, and even missiles. So it makes perfect sense that they would be working on electric air taxis. Behind the scenes, Boeing has been working on autonomous multi-rotor air vehicles. One made its first test flight in early 2019, when times were simpler. Known as the PAV, it forms part of the Boeing Next Urban Air Mobility Program and is thought to lead the next on-demand mobility generation. It's 30 feet long, 28 feet wide, and has wing systems and unique propulsion features that allow it to hover and move forward. It also has 8 propellers for easy takeoff and landing. So far, the current design allows for a 50-mile flight radius. If these things hit the market, I'll be joining the ownership queue. Number 13. ShareBot Snow White Squared 3D Printer. Remember when we used to only be able to print things on paper, and then 3D puzzles came out and we all lost our minds? Well, technology has come a long way since then. Now we can all own 3D printers and print all manner of things, like cars, trinkets, toys, and even houses. ShareBot Snow White Squared is a direct laser sintering professional 3D printer that's turning heads in the marketplace. It uses laser sintering technology with a laser pointing at space to bind material and create a solid structure. How exciting is that? This printer can build any object of any shape without support, and even allows you to reuse any non-sintered material. Because this printer has a CO2 laser, there's no limit to the thermoplastic powders you can use with it to build different things. It'll work with special loaded powders and even those that contain carbon, aluminum, and glass. Basically, it's leaving plastic in its dust. But it surpasses old 3D printer technology in other ways too. It's faster to start up by about 10 minutes and uses less power than some, with around 1.5 kilowatts per hour. If there's any unused powder left behind, you can reuse it. The already exciting world of 3D printing just got more exciting. Number 12. A bridge building machine. We don't want to take anything away from our bridge builders of years past. They did a fantastic job with the technology they had available to them. Even bridges built centuries ago are holding up well today. Though that doesn't mean we can't improve on what they did and make the job a little easier. And we did. Some creative geniuses came up with a bridge building machine that has been a game changer in the construction industry. One such machine is the SLI 9032, which was designed by the Shijiazhuang Railway Design Institute and manufactured by Beijing Wao Joint Machinery Company. This machine weighs 580 tons, spans 91 meters, and is about 7 meters long. It's simple in design, yet has allowed complex bridge structures to be built without complicated scaffolding, huge expenses, and additional framework. I'm as curious as you about how this magical machine works. It picks up beams, drives to the bridge pillars, then lowers a pneumatic support structure. This anchors the machine to the first pillar in place, then allows it to expand itself out to the second pillar. It will then move to the third to deposit a beam, and so forth. Seeing it operate is a truly remarkable experience. Number 11. Tree spaders. Trees don't play by our rules. We plant them where we want them, and before you know it, their roots are impacting your plumbing and their branches are growing into your spouting. It's a sad moment when you realize that you've now got to cut your tree down. Or do you? If you hire someone who owns a tree spader, you may be able to relocate your tree instead. Tree spaders are machines that operate on hydraulics and can excavate, lift, and move a whole tree. The best part, it barely hurts the tree at all. You can then plant it somewhere where it can't do any damage. There have been small versions of tree spaders in existence for some time, but nothing really available for massive trees that can cause the most harm to neighboring properties. A tree moving company created the Arbor Lift, and it has been a game changer. This machine uses inflatable pneumatic bladders and a rigid lifting platform to extract a tree weighing up to 1 million pounds and its roots to around 36 feet in diameter. It can then move it to a new location. Doesn't get much more convenient than that. Number 10. Human Universal Load Carrier. The human body is capable of some amazing things, but do too many of those amazing things, and you can find yourself in significant pain either days later or years later once old age rears its head. Soldiers in combat know this all too well. They sometimes have to carry heavy loads over great distances for incredibly long periods of time. It's not possible to sustain that kind of pressure without injury or significant fatigue.
That enables me to walk. Until now.
So that's where the Human Universal Load Carrier, or HULC, comes in. This untethered hydraulic exoskeleton was created by Professor H. Kazaruni and his Exobionics team. It's designed to assist soldiers in carrying loads up to 200 pounds at speeds of up to 10 miles per hour. It's battery powered and attaches to a soldier's body to carry much of the force the soldier would usually feel. It shows great potential in a variety of industries, but is not quite there yet. The initial project failed because some of its movements caused even greater muscle strain, the exact opposite of what it was trying to achieve. Number 9. Wave Energy Converter. The energy industry is an interesting one. We're always coming up with new, exciting, and innovative ways to generate energy. As it turns out, dirty coal that blackened the cobbled streets of centuries-old townships is not the only way to generate sources of electricity. But what has always been quite complicated is how you generate electricity. You might know that a moving ocean wave has the potential to turn on a light bulb, but making it do that very task is incredibly complex. It actually requires a wave energy converter. This device converts kinetic and potential energy from moving ocean waves into electrical or mechanical energy. These machines also offer clean energy to power grids and make sure things like pumps for seawater desalination can continue working. Isn't technology incredible? There are 6 different wave energy converter categories, and these are point absorbers, rotating mass devices, terminators, attenuators, submerged pressure differentials, and oscillating wave surges. There are dozens of different wave energy converters currently in the ocean, owned by different countries. For example, the converter called Aquaring comes from the US and is located on the water surface. Atlas Ocean Systems also has one situated on the water surface as well. Number 8. SpaceX. As a species, we have trouble being content. We've explored so much of our world that we're now trying to explore possible other worlds. At the moment, SpaceX is leading the way in that regard. SpaceX produced a 2-stage rocket called Falcon 9, which launched the company's first ever crewed mission called Demo 2. They launched from NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida with 2 astronauts, Doug Hurley and Bob Behnken, on board in a Crew Dragon capsule. Their destination? The International Space Station. Everything that could go to plan did go to plan. The Falcon 9 managed a pinpoint landing on the SpaceX drone ship called Of Course I Still Love You before returning to Port Canaveral. 67% to its period of maximum dynamic pressure. It is unknown whether, after that successful launch, the Falcon 9 would ever be launched again. It might end up as a museum piece, just like the first Falcon 9, which now lives at the headquarters of SpaceX in Hawthorne, California. But we can't give all the praise to the rocket. The entire mission deserves some recognition. Demo 2 is the first orbital human space flight from the US since NASA retired its space shuttle fleet in 2011. It's a joint effort between SpaceX and NASA. Number 7. NASA's Perseverance rover. Perseverance, also called Percy, is a Mars rover the size of a car that was designed to explore Mars's Jezero crater. It formed part of NASA's Mars 2020 mission and was manufactured by the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. Percy is one of NASA's lesser-known rovers, but it's due to arrive on Mars right about now, having been launched back in July 2020. This amazing piece of technology will blow your mind. Percy has 7 different scientific instruments, and these are used to study Jezero crater's Martian surface. It also has plenty of cameras and 2 microphones so that it can accurately capture its findings. Percy didn't head off to Mars on its own either. He was accompanied by Ingenuity, which is a helicopter designed to help the rover scout for potential study locations. Percy is 2 meters long, 2.7 meters wide, and 2.2 meters high. He has a launch mass of a little over 1,000 kilograms and boasts about 110 watts of power. All of these technical specs were carefully planned out for what Percy is designed to do. NASA hopes that he will discover past environments that can support microbial life, catch samples, and prepare for humans through oxygen production tests. Number 6. Robot Bricklayer. There's only one word to describe the job of bricklaying: hard. It's hard on your body, slow, and as a result of this slowness, expensive. Brick homes are still quite popular though, because they are low maintenance and incredibly strong. So it was only a matter of time before technology turned this labor-intensive job into something easy and cost-effective. That is where SAM 100 comes in. SAM 100 is a robot whose job is to lay bricks. He is so effective that he can replace nearly an entire masonry crew. I mean, we don't want jobs to be lost, but how good would your back feel if you weren't the one carrying bricks all day? SAM 100 is still in his early stages of life, but he's looking really good. He can lift and place bricks up to 5 times faster than the average bricklaying human can. He also reduces lifting by as much as 80%. SAM 100 was first launched at the World of Concrete trade show in 2015. He won the award for the Most Innovative Product Industry Choice Award. The producer said he was designed to work side by side with masons, lower health and safety concerns, and lower installation costs by as much as half. Number 5. Amazon Prime Air. Our courier drivers and mail delivery people have an incredibly important job to do. Make sure packages get to their recipients safely and within the advertised delivery timeframe. But with so many people now shopping online, their job is a challenging one. Amazon Prime Air may just make it easier in the near future.
If there's one thing Amazon.com is about, it's obsessive attention to the customer experience.
Prime Air is a drone delivery service, and it's as futuristic as it sounds. As long as your package weighs less than 5 pounds and you're within 10 miles of an Amazon order fulfillment center, a delivery drone can bring it to you within half an hour of you ordering it. So if you need a quick chocolate fix, there's a high chance Amazon Prime Air will be able to help. The service was supposed to be up and running by 2019, but it's yet to be commonplace. Amazon has also been working with NASA and Single European Sky ATM to make sure everything can operate smoothly. So far, about 10 companies are involved in the certification program for delivery drones. I can't wait for this to be a standard delivery practice. Number 4. Ecolog 590 Harvester. Innovation is a huge part of any industry. If you aren't open to technological advancements, you may be left behind. The forestry industry is no different. This competitive industry requires the best machines so that you can carry out jobs efficiently and cost-effectively. The Ecolog 590 Harvester is showing what technology is capable of. This machine has independent pendulum arm suspension, which gives the machine far more flexibility than many other harvesters. As a result, it can be suitable for areas that tend to have boulders and other obstacles scattered throughout woodlots. The harvester is advertised as being able to work quickly, safely, and cost-effectively. It has a 320 horsepower Volvo Penta engine, 310 kilonewton-meters crane, and a 350-degree swiveling cab. It even impresses operators with a 25.5-degree lateral tilt and optional balanced bogie to make it more flexible. This harvester adds all kinds of benefits to the logging industry. You may see increased productivity and be surprised at how easy and convenient it is to service. It also works in rugged terrain while also holding its own on the steep and hilly countryside as well. Number 3. Self-driving trucks. We've all heard of self-driving cars. For some people, the idea is terrifying. Those same people will be absolutely petrified when they realize that self-driving trucks also exist. There are currently around a dozen companies working on autonomous trucks, and they're making a surprising amount of headway. Too Simple, a San Diego-based company, has been working with Navistar, a truck manufacturer, along with shipping giant UPS. They've already been conducting tests in Texas and Arizona, including entirely autonomous trips from depot to depot. And by entirely autonomous, we mean that the truck is driving itself. Although in these tests, they are also supervised. There's someone in the cab who can take the wheel if something goes wrong. There's hope that sometime this year, human supervision won't be needed at all, and trucks can begin doing pickups and deliveries all on their own. It sounds scary, but what if we told you that autonomous trucks could be safer than self-driving cars? Often, trucks follow the same routes and highways because they are going to and from the same destinations. They also use sensors like LiDARs and radars. Number 2. System 001B. Halfway between Hawaii and California is one of the human race's biggest embarrassments, the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. This massive accumulation of ocean plastics is thought to be the largest of its kind in the ocean. It's a massive problem, but System 001B is on the case. System 001 and its variants like B are cleanup systems currently being trialed and used for eventual management of this garbage embarrassment. It's a U-shaped system that can reorient itself in the ocean and catch plastic. It was first launched in San Francisco in late 2018. System 001 relies on oceanic forces to gather up as much rubbish as possible, including plastic, plastic as small as 1 millimeter. That's incredible when you think about just how much plastic is out there. These materials can then be collected and removed from the ocean. The ultimate goal for System 001 is that the plastic it collects can be returned to the land and recycled. Its creators hope that this system can remove as much as half of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch in 5 years, a monumental feat given that it covers around 1.6 million square kilometers, around twice the size of Texas. Number 1. Flame-throwing tractor. When you hear that a flame-throwing tractor exists, you probably think we're just getting silly now. We've all got these useful machines, so we may as well use that technology to create something fun. But as it turns out, flame-throwing tractors are actually incredibly useful. They weren't created for fun at all. Weeds are problematic. They annoy home gardeners, but they're even more frustrating for farmers. When you're an organic farmer, you also can't use any synthetic herbicides or pesticides, so you have to get creative. You can attach a flamethrower attachment to a tractor with a propane tank that directs flames at the gaps between your crop rows. It's called flame weeding and is an effective, age-old technique. The flames don't burn the plants to a crisp because the tractor keeps moving. Instead, the short burst of fire destroys a plant's ability to perform photosynthesis, so it can't grow anymore. We don't suggest lighting your garden on fire, but you can see why organic farmers are stocking up on propane tanks and these incredible tractor attachments. How cool do they look? When you think about all these incredible machines we have today, you can't help but wonder what could be in store for us next. It seems like so much has become possible in such a short space of time. If you could predict a machine to exist in the future, what would it be? Also, check out our other cool stuff showing up on screen right now. See you next time!